Okay, what we're going to do today is just kind of pinpoint in each of the slides that we don't get to cover in class, or each of the PowerPoints that we don't get to cover in class. You still get the information that's being covered. That, and it's enough of that for the test. So what I'm trying to do is focus on what I know is going to be on the test, so that you won't study any unnecessary information. So what I'm going to do now is to look through the slides. This is for chapter, should be chapter 23. And what I'm going to do right now is to go through the slides and to tell you which slides you need to focus on, or which area of the slides. The first thing I'm looking at right now is going to be your points to ponder, so you'll know where within the slides you need to look. You need to focus on the energy flow and chemical cycling in the ecosystem, the two major ecosystems. Okay, you need to know the terrestrial, and when I say know the terrestrial, you need to know what living things are there as far as plants are concerned, and the water, the amount of water, because that's what determines how these terrestrial ecosystems are categorized. For example, you have the tundra and you have the desert. And both of those are named what they are due to lack of moisture. Okay, your tundra is usually found in the valley. Alright, so it's in between mountainous ranges, and usually that keeps the weather from getting to that area, which is why they're dry, and deserts are deserts because they're dry. Okay, but you need to know that. Then you have the savanna, you have the tropical rainforest, you have the deciduous forest. Okay, so know what's there and the amount of rainfall, and that's what determines how you name each one of the terrestrial ecosystems. And then you have your aquatic ecosystems. Okay, you have two of those, freshwater and salt. Alright, the next thing you're going to need to look at the food webs and the food pyramids. You have two specific slides that indicate what is what, okay, and that needs to start with slide 11, which is explained on slide 10, but you have slide 11, 12, and 13 that should focus your energy flow and the food cycle. Okay, so those are the ones that I know questions can come from. Okay, then as far as your biogeochemical cycle, slide 15 is pretty much it. Okay, no slide 15. If there's anything extra that I do see that's on the test, if I don't reuse the old one, if I reuse the old one, if I see anything extra, I'll let you all know. But as far as the biogeochemical cycles, no slide 15. Okay, one you may get, no. Okay. The other one you need to look at is the greenhouse gases and global warming. That should be slide 24. Alright, that describes what actually happens with global warming, how it happens, how it affects the earth, etc. Because what it is you have the sun giving off heat rays or solar radiation. It heats the earth. When there's cloud cover, you have solar radiation. There's supposed to be re-radiation. So once it hits the earth, it's supposed to be able to go back up into the atmosphere. Well, if you have cloud cover, the cloud cover prevents all of the radiation from leaving. So you have solar radiation that heats up the earth, then you have some of that bouncing off. Then some of it, because the cloud cover, bounces back, reheating what's already hot. So like I said, if you have something at 350 degrees, and then it comes back and gets heated again, it doesn't start back at 0 and come back up. It goes from 350 on up. So it reheats what's already been heated. Now the problem with greenhouse gases is that those chemicals form a barrier. So you have even more radiation being re-radiated down to the earth, making what's hot even hotter. And so that's a problem that we have with greenhouse gases. When the weather is a little funky, okay, usually is the cause or the result of the re-radiation, because stuff is getting warmer. When things get warmer, storms get bigger. Okay, storms get bigger, storms last longer, because they you get them, the warmer waters cause a lot of the hurricanes to get stronger than what they were when they were further out. Okay, so this is why a lot of your storms are bigger, a lot of them are lasting longer, and if they're slow moving storms like Katrina and Sandy, they all out to get bigger and bigger and bigger, because the water where they're located are warmer than what they're supposed to be. Okay. Other than that, look at your slide 32. Slide 32 goes over the ozone depletion, which is being depleted by CFCs or chlorofluorocarbons. Please remember that when you see it again. So if you see chlorofluorocarbons, you know we're talking about ozone. Ozone is O3. The air that you breathe is O2. Okay? Well, the air that you breathe has O2 in it. I won't say it's all O2. But that's pretty much it for chapter 23, and then we're going to look at chapter 24, and that'll be a separate video, just to make sure that everything is designated. Okie dokie. Alright, see you in a few.